Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. My name's Stephanie and today I'm so excited to be showing you my top 25 nail polishes of 2025. I'm not gonna lie, this year was a bit of a blur, so at first it was a little hard and daunting to come up with 25 favorite polishes that came out this year, but once I went back to see all the releases and my purchases, it became easier and easier to fill up my list. So without further ado, let's just get into it. One of my top favorite polishes from this year is ILNP's Sweet Tooth, which came out in the Candy Coated collection earlier in the spring. This is basically the pink sibling polish to Fairy Dust, which was super popular a couple of years ago. I mean, arguably still very popular, but as a certified pink lover, I immediately fell in love with this one. I love the warm pink undertone of the base color and how beautifully it contrasts against the warm golden glow of that orangey shimmer. It just looks like a sunset in a bottle, and paired with all the holographic sparkle, it is just so incredibly beautiful. I'm sure this is surprising to no one that this is my first favorite. I did also have to include ILNP's Peach Ring, which is just the peachy orange sibling polish. They really struck gold with this type of shimmer combination, these like fairy dust siblings. They're always just so beautiful, and as you might know, I also really love orange nail polish, so I was just so blown away with this one. It is just such a beautiful shade that I think is so pretty and flattering, not to mention with the perfect name too. It obviously has this bright, fun, peachy orange jelly base with a very glowy orange shimmer that shifts to a gold in extreme lighting, so it's really in that more extreme lighting that you get that true peach ring vibe with the gold and the orange, but either way, it is such a cute shade. Continuing on with my more springy picks, the next polish I have is Mooncat's Sakura's Serenade, which was from the Remedy collection, and it is the pink to pink thermal that has a blue shimmer. Now, I know Mooncat thermals are crazy expensive. I normally would not be able to splurge on them at all, but this is one that I would make the exception for because it's my favorite color, and I'm also just a sucker for any pink with a blue shimmer, so I know a lot of people might kind of scoff at this one, but it's one of my favorites. Next, I have Starrly's Dream Logic, which came out in the Liminal Dreams collection earlier this year. This was one that when I tried it on, I was just so blown away with how beautiful and glowy the shimmer looks. Like, we've obviously seen a lot of glowy shimmers before, but there's just something about the color combination in this one that I feel like was just more unique to me, so I just fell in love with it right away. It kind of has a combination of this pinky purple and blue shimmer in this cornflower blue jelly base that's also really vibrant, so it really just captures that dreamy ethereal vibe so well. The next polish I have is Cuticula's Fairycore, which was a polish pickup shade, so I'm so sorry you can't get this one anymore unless maybe it comes back for rewind. I couldn't help but include this one though because it is just so up my alley as somebody who loves all the Fairycore kind of polishes, all the glowy shimmers that are super sheer and ethereal, just giving this light cellophane fairy wing kind of vibe. Ugh, I can just eat that up forever and ever, never get tired of it. So naturally, I had to grab this one because I knew it was going to be a favorite and a staple in my collection. The green glow is just so intense, it almost kind of overpowers the purple base, but it is just so incredibly shifty. I promise it looks so much better in real life. Next, I have my first cream favorite, which is Holo Taco's Time After Time. This came out in the Cottagecore collection earlier in the spring, and it is a beautifully soft, muted, kind of sagey green. I'm sure there's plenty of other people scoffing that I'm including a cream in one of my top favorites from the year, but I love a good cream, and Holo Taco makes them, and I would say this is definitely one of my favorites. It was honestly between this one and Touch Grass. I didn't want to have two green creams, but they're both fantastic. Back to the more fun polishes though. The next one I have is Fauve's Butterfly Garden, which is from the Impressionism collection earlier in the spring. As I've mentioned before, I love Fauve for their toppers. I mean, their collections in general are outstanding, but their toppers just feel extra special and fun and unique. I know we've seen butterfly glitters and toppers before, but I just really love the color combination in this one. It just fits so well with the rest of the collection, and it's just perfect for spring. This next polish is another PPU shade, so I'm so sorry, but you understand why I had to include it, right? This is Psyche Minerals Whispering Waves, which is this absolutely dreamy, magical fairy blend of blue iridescent glitters, iridescent flakies, and pink reflective glitters. Like, come on. This was another one that I just had this feral reaction over. It is just so incredibly stunning, so up my alley, just all of the things that I love in a nail polish, even though this does have some large iridescent flakies like you can see towards the tip of my nail. I'm not usually a fan of that, but I'm very forgiving for this shade. Next, I have the one, the only Bee's Knees Bog Dweller. I am so sorry if me talking about this polish just encourages any FOMO around it. I know that they have been restocking it more recently, but it's just one of those shades that's in high demand, and sometimes they don't reach that demand. And while we have seen a lot of other green magnetics, I unfortunately have not seen one quite like this. There is something about this specific shade of green that has a little bit of this blue undertone that looks so incredibly striking. I don't want to say this is a polish that you need to get, but if you do manage to get it, I'm pretty sure you won't be disappointed. It is so gorgeous. Then I have Cirque Colors Lolly Jelly, which came out in their Glaze collection, I think in the spring or maybe it was early summer. I absolutely adore this color. I think it's just so fun and fresh, especially for that time of year where the weather starts to warm up. I think it has a really pretty and fun kind of watermelon sort of color where it's sort of pink and in between red with maybe a little bit of a coral undertone, so a little bit of a chameleon. But all I know is that I just love how the shade looks on me, so naturally I had to include it as a favorite. Next, I have another cream polish, and this is Cracked Polish's Peep Toe, which came out in their Walk That Walk summer collection of these really bright, almost neon kind of shades. This shade might be surprising to see because I famously talk about how I like red nail polish, but I don't usually wear it all that often. And if anything, I always gravitate to the more blue-toned reds, especially if they're darker, but these brighter, slightly more orange-leaning reds usually don't do it for me, but this one does. I have no idea what Monique put in this polish, but I really, really love it. Like, it is so bold, but so good. I also wanted to include Ready to Stumble, which was from the same collection, and this is the neon green with a blue shimmer. Overall, I really love this collection, so it was kind of hard to choose favorites, but I would say this green and blue combination has been so popular this year. Maybe a lot of brands were influenced by Shake Your Shamrock from last year or the year before, but I'm happy to have it, especially in a non-limited edition way. I think this one has such a great formula with a beautiful glow. I also have another green. This is Prism Parade's Mallbrat, which came out in the Meet Me at the Mall collection, which consisted of these neon shimmer crellies. Such a fantastic lineup. Like, I wish I could just include that whole rainbow essentially, but if I had to choose one shade, it would be the neon green. I feel like this is another color combination we've seen a lot, with this bright neon green base and this glowy golden shimmer. Maybe this is inspired by Atomic's Sour Apple rings, which is another fantastic shade. And again, because it's a PPU shade, I'm just happy to see some non-limited edition takes on it. So yeah, I think this one is so fantastic, a really nice formula that builds up so beautifully. I especially love it in 3 coats because I feel like it just makes that green so intense. Believe it or not, I have another green, and this one is Cracked Polish's I'm Jaded, which I actually don't remember when exactly it came out, but it was just released alongside a couple of other green shades. But this one is the Jade Green Crelly. Now, if you're familiar with my Cracked reviews, you know that I don't always love her Crelly polishes, but this one is easily the best one that I've tried. It has a lovely self-leveling formula that is pretty opaque and pigmented on 2 coats while still having that slightly squishy look, but more importantly, the color is perfection. Then I have Apocalypse's I Am Become Barbie Destroyer of Barbieland, which is this micro glitter type of formula in these pink, purple, and blue colors. You know, I've already ranted and raved about this polish, and specifically this micro glitter finish from Apocalypse. It is just so pretty. I love glitters, even though they can be a little annoying sometimes, especially with removal. Doing a peel off base coat is so worth it for the amount of sparkle. It is insane. And I'm sure it's not surprising that this is a favorite, mainly for the color combination. The next polish I have is Holo Taco's Made Me Ink, which was from the Off the Deep End collection that I think released late in the spring, but I count it as a summer collection. It was this gorgeous, deep jewel tone kind of range of shades of these jelly finishes with these iridescent flakies, and most of them also had this reflective glitter, although they are very much on the subtle side. I'm honestly not too mad at it though, because the flakies alone are so glowy. This color combination just speaks to me. It is so enchanting and otherworldly, just really reminiscent of a siren song. Also in the summer, ILNP came out with their Illusions collection, which featured these multi-chrome magnetics. My top favorite from that lineup, and just one of my favorites from the whole year, obviously, is ILNP's Hypnosis. This one is such a stunning color combination that truly had me hypnotized when I wore it. It kind of has this muted, almost purpley base color that's honestly kind of hard to see underneath all of the shimmer, where the background is sort of this coppery orange that shifts to a golden yellow in extreme lighting, but it also has the magnetic shimmer that's kind of this bright cyan blue that transitions to a darker blue and even a fuchsia or purple in extreme lighting. Multichrome magnetics are just super colorful and very shifty in general, but this just had that certain color combination that had my jaw on the floor. I especially love how it looks in the velvet effect because you just see all of these crazy colors blending into each other. It is truly hypnotizing. I have yet another magnetic. This one is Holo Taco's Off the Grid, which came out in their camping collection at the start of the fall season. This one has a gorgeous, deep indigo sort of base color with these blue iridescent microflakes in the background and this fiery copper sort of shimmer. It almost has this hint of pink color to it that I think is just so pretty. It just stands out so beautifully against how deep and inky the base color is, and again with those background flakies, it is just such a magical polish. It really gives off this glow from the campfire against the starry night sky kind of vibe, so I just really love it for that. And of course, I love it in the velvet effect where you just get that intense flash of the magnetic shimmer. Next up, I have Fauve's Frida, which came out in the Frida Kahlo collection, and yes, this is another magnetic. As you might know, I really love a lot of Fauve's magnetics because they just have a beautiful combination of different shimmers and flakies where the colors just play so nicely and complement each other while having really great contrast, and this is easily a favorite, mainly for the color. It kind of has this deep berry magenta sort of base color with a much brighter reddish magnetic pigment and these sort of orangey and blue iridescent flakies in the back. It is just so incredibly breathtaking. Next up, I have Sylvanclaw's Wilted Rose, which is another thermal. I cannot believe I have two on my favorites for the year, but I was just so enamored with this one. I already loved the cold state of the color that you see in the bottle, which was sort of this muted berry rose shade, but once you apply it on the nail and see the warm state of the color, which is kind of this cooler lavender, it just took my breath away. I just really loved the transitional shades, the subtle shimmer in here, the formula, and also the price. This next polish is one of the most recent ones that I've tried, but I had to include it on my list. This is Cracked Polish's Strawberry Jam, which is one of their jelly shades. Cracked has come out with such amazing jellies this year, but this one takes the cake for me, mainly again for the color. But I also love the name. I thought the formula on this was really nice too. It's just such a stunning shade of red that has a little bit of that pinky berry kind of undertone, truly giving those sweet syrupy vibes in the most flattering kind of color. I just cannot recommend this one enough. This was one of those polishes that once I put it on, I wore it for almost a week straight, which I feel like says a lot. Getting into my more wintry favorites, this first one is Starrilly's Oceanic Moonlight, which came out in their Northern Lights collection at the beginning of the year. As you might know, I do also really love Polar Lights, which is the much brighter sort of aqua minty cyan sort of shade, but as the year went on, I feel like I would just gravitate more and more towards Oceanic Moonlight because, as you can see, it just is such a striking shade of cobalt blue. It had such an incredible pigmented formula on the first coat alone, but I still did two, and it is just breathtaking. Like, I can't get over how bold and beautiful the shade of blue is, and I love the contrast of the aqua shimmer. This next polish technically came out in the spring or summer season, but I feel like it's such a perfect winter holiday kind of shade, and that is Holo Taco's Coin Toss. As I'm sure you all know, Holo Taco does make some gorgeous chunky glitter polishes. Admittedly, their old original formula was better, but the square glitter ones from the Pixel Perfect collection I thought were still really well done. I guess the theme just kind of adds to it, but there's no doubt that my top favorite from that set was this beautiful, elegant gold. I think it is just so classy, easily my new favorite gold glitter in my collection. Another super recent addition is ILNP's Flurry from their Snow Day collection, which just came out earlier in December for their second winter release. As you can see, this is a full coverage pigmented cream in this really stunning cornflower blue color. While I always say I'm a certified pink lover and pink is my favorite color in general, I do also really love any kind of cornflower blue blue or a periwinkle shade. It's just one of my favorite shades to wear as nail polish. So while it might seem a little basic, this one did stand out compared to other cornflowers because it's so much brighter. And last but certainly not least, I have Fauve's Stargazing, which came out in the Van Gogh collection earlier in the summer, but I recently shared this as one of my winter favorites for the season. Again, I am obsessed with Fauve's toppers. I think they're just so fun, so well done. This one is such a magical blend of these iridescent sparkles, these silver holographic star and crescent moon glitters. It has such incredible coverage on one coat alone and has me with this sense of awe, just like when I'm actually stargazing. So that wraps up my top 25 nail polishes of 2025. So I'm sure if you watch my videos regularly, half of these are not a surprise at all, but I would still love to hear what you think of my favorite picks from this year. Let me know if we have any favorites in common, or of course, share some of your favorite releases as well, because as you all know, the nail polish market is huge and there are so many amazing releases. I honestly felt a little bad including a couple of PPU releases. At first, I was thinking maybe I can share 20 like regular releases and then 5 can be from PPU, which are, you know, no longer around. But I tried to whittle it down a little bit more, but I just couldn't take out Fairycore or Whispering Waves, which again, if you know me, that just tracks. But yeah, even though this year may have been a dumpster fire, we still had a lot of beautiful nail polishes to help distract us from it. So again, I would love to hear some of your favorites down below so we can chat about it. But thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!